Hello, good morning, everybody. If you are listening, thank you for listening in. I know it's a Monday, 10 a.m. Some of you are on leave, and some of you are not. If you happen to want to listen to a quick 30 minutes chat with one of my friends, please go ahead and join this Facebook Live video. Again, just to share, I started this random chat because okay, I tell you random chat because in my day job, we also have a random chat with my company. And what we do is the random chat ad will actually link um, me with a colleague, and then we will just randomly chat for 30 minutes. So I thought I could extend this to my friends, some of my connection who I met on Facebook who have not met, and this will give us a good opportunity to catch up since we can't meet physically uh, physically in person at a cafe due to the current pandemic. So today, I'm glad to have Eugene, SEO King, in Singapore. I've connected with him on Facebook, but I have not physically met him. So you could say that this is my first time meeting him face to face. So before we start, I see Eugene has come on. I will just do a quick 30-second countdown and we will start the chat. So I'll see you in a while. Hey, hi Eugene. How are you?
Hi, good morning, everybody, and thanks, Aaron, for inviting me to this call. It is indeed the first time that I'm meeting Aaron, although we had been chatting on and off, right, for quite a bit over
Yes.
Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially want to go for your SEO course using Skills Future.
Ah, yes,
Yes,
we
yes.
will we will talk more on that later on.
Yeah. Eugene, so just tell me, I mean, SEO today, with a lot of this, most of the audience now using Facebook, TikTok, it's like Instagram. How important is SEO with all this, if even if the audience shifting to this, platform?
Now, I think you are right. I think, Aaron, you are right to point out that we cannot discount social media. Social media is very important, and that
Yep.
is where the audience lies as well. But equally important is search engine optimization, or what I call the ability to be able to be searched. And the ability to be able to be searched is what I term as the searchability factor. So for
Okay.
example, if you have a you have a chat with me, and I will determine your searchability factor. So
Okay.
before we even look at so what is this searchability factor? So we need to look at what are the ways that people will search us for. You know, they
Yes.
social media is one. Definitely, if you're on Facebook, you will search for certain thing. If if you're a lady looking for a dress in Facebook, you type dress, or black gown or something like that, right? In Facebook, that's what you do.
Okay. Yes.
But basically, we are talking about the customer journey and people consuming content differently. So there are some person that will type in Google directly,
Correct.
under the Google search. There are some people that will type in YouTube directly, because they want to see what are the dress videos and all that. So,
Yep.
for example, if you are a company selling dress, and you straight away you discount YouTube, then you are missing the part of the market where they are actually searching for you on YouTube, but because you are not there, you cannot capture the pie. So SEO, many years ago, the head of Google, his name is Matt Cutts. He's now joined a different role altogether. But at that point in time, he was saying that Google was considering what we call these social signals, and social signals simply means links from social media. And how does it work? Right, links from social media does not really give you the direct domain authority that you need, but basically it helps you direct your social media audience that is on the social media to your website, right?
Okay.
So the ability to be able to search on the map on YouTube and on Google and on social media are all just equally important, right?
Okay. Yes. Actually, I agree with you. In my previous job, I also did a bit of the. I actually started off as a digital marketing person before I did sales, and I also tried to improve the SEO for the company website. But he has a lot of competitors, and the keywords if you were to buy Google Ads would be very expensive. One of the methods I use is to update content regularly on the website. Is this still a factor, or is there any other factors that we should consider for SEO for the website?
So here's the thing: if your website is configured correctly and is connected to this thing called the Google XML sitemap, and every time that you update, the Google XML sitemap will kind of, it's like a secret informant to Google, right? It's
Okay.
like a
Yes.
secret agent where every time you update, the guy will be there waving the flag and say, hey, I've got a new update.
Yes.
And then Google come and crawl me. And chances are the Google bot will crawl you faster because you have configured it correctly. And having said that, the more times per week that this guy waving the flag, the
Okay.
more times you get noticed by Google. I think this is like a layman explanation of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing I did also to also help improve the XML, to create XML site. But a lot of people still don't understand or don't know SEO. Maybe I mean we should have done this earlier, but maybe you can introduce or explain what SEO is.
Sure. So before we explain what SEO is, we have to look at the beginning, right? So in
Right.
1994, Yahoo was born, and in 1998, Google was born, right?
Yes.
And Google was born on 4 years after Yahoo, but Google was able to dominate Yahoo. And the big question we want to ask is why, right? Because at the get-go, Google focused on relevant searches, and then Google realized that on its own, it is not enough. So over the years, during the range of 2010 and 2011, Google bought almost one company, per week, right? And
Yep.
and and kind of like consolidated their their network, or so to say. So some of the key things that some of the key companies that Google bought that eventually formed into a Google technology include Google Maps, which eventually formed the Google My Business um, structure. Uh, Also, basically, Google bought Picasa, which eventually formed Google Photos. Google also bought YouTube, which now is the second largest search engine in the world, right? So Google bought technologies, and then over time, actually, people try to cheat the system, and then Google are forced to roll out algorithm updates. And Google rolled out Google Panda in February 2011 to address the fact that people were repeating keywords too many times on their website, such that their content is not quality. And that is what we call the on-page SEO over optimization. So Google Panda addresses that. In April 2012, Google rolled out actually so-called this thing called Google Penguin. And Google Penguin, this time people were trying to cheat, trying to get as many links to my website as possible. So Google Penguin addresses that and look at link quality and whether the link coming from is related to your business, right? So
Okay.
that is the business of Google Penguin. And in July 2014, Google rolled out this interesting update called Google Pigeon, which helps you enable you to search on Google search more accurately. So before that, if you're typing wedding dress, you might get a wedding dress that is in USA, because normally Google will prefer USA sites. But with Google Pigeon in place, Google Pigeon will then check that your search location is Singapore. Then Google
Okay.
Pigeon will take over that, right? And then the other two key updates that Google roll out is this thing called Google Hummingbird and Google RankBrain. So Google Hummingbird is able to address more conversation search, is able to address the phrase and what is the intention, and trying to return more relevant results. For Google
Yep.
RankBrain, it is to handle never seen before search results. So for example, a new property launch, new property name, never seen before search results
Okay.
are are are, are actually handled by Google RankBrain, right? So now the next thing is SEO is commonly misunderstood. People always thought that it's always related to the website only, right? You do the
Right.
website, you try to get the links and all that. But basically, in my I have a 2 days um 2 days SEO certification course that is fully claimable by Skills Future,
Yep.
and it is also certified in the UK by a UK Institute of Adult Learning, right? So you if you attend my course, you get the serial number, right?
Okay.
And basically the serial number is totally met in the UK. So okay, that's enough of advertising for my course. But having said that, you must realize that there are actually 8 types of SEO. There are
Is it?
8 types of SEO, right?
Okay, that's a lot. Yeah.
And basically 8 types of SEO. We start from the top, which is technical SEO. Technical SEO means your website does it have secure sockets layer, SSL connection, HTTPS? Is your website loading fast? Is your website mobile optimized? So that in a nutshell is technical SEO. Next, of course, we know that people are always trying to optimize, that is called the on-page SEO. You're trying to make sure your keywords are relevant so that your this page will be searchable on Google page one. Another thing that Google that people forget, that if you optimize for on-page SEO, you need to also consider content SEO, as in, for example, when you optimize and you have keywords that repeating too much, it doesn't make sense and it's not human readable. So content SEO, you need to make sure that it's human readable, because at the end of the day, it is the bot that can rank you, but at the end of the day, it is the human access that will actually give you the leads. So it's very
Okay.
important to optimize your content, right?
Yep.
Next, of course, we say that off-page SEO. Is it like just anyhow crazily get links? No, right? There is a system to get links so that you don't get banned.
Yep.
Next, also there is also a method that what are the things that we can do to optimize or improve our local SEO. That means, for example, if you are in the States and you are only servicing in the Washington area, what can you do to to optimize your local area, such that when people searching for wedding dress and they are based in Washington, your results will appear, right? That is local SEO. Image SEO is how you optimize your images on Google Photos so that it will show organically in the Google search
Right.
and in the Google image search. Video SEO, of course, is how you optimize your YouTube channel, your YouTube videos, and all that. And of course, if you're doing e-commerce, there's so-called e-commerce SEO. So unfortunately, our chat is short, but I
Yes.
that's why I try to like action pack everything.
Okay.
But that's why I think one of the reasons why I come up with a 2 days skills future SEO course is this. There is so many rubbish teaching about SEO out there, right?
Okay.
And there are so many malpractices, even through digital agencies. So I'm there to say, hey, I'm here. I have this 2 days course. right? And basically I certify you, yeah, on the right way of doing
Okay.
SEO, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's also so there's all this will be also taught, all this most of this will actually be taught during your 2 days course.
Yes, in fact,
Yeah.
we will cover even more, right? We will cover it, like, how do you even know that your business, right? You see, Aaron, this is the problem, right? It's very common that people say that, oh, there are bubble tea shops, appearing everywhere. I also want to
Yeah.
start a bubble tea. Here's the problem, right? You do not start a me too business. That's because
Yes.
people do me too. I also want, that kind of thing. But basically you need to think of how you can be ahead of the curve, right?
Right.
And what are the things that you can start that basically is unique in the market, either through the services that you provide or through some other methods. You know, you need to make sure that you are ahead of the curve, right, in terms of business,
Yes.
right? and,
Yeah.
and not a me too business. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also a challenge, because a lot of the companies, I mean, a lot of the is there's a lot of like, okay, I will only try something when it's already successful. You know what I mean? It's like it's like guaranteed success because the other company is also a success. But that puts you in a very difficult position because you have a lot of people to compete with. You have a lot of brands. You have a lot of and some brands can have more power. I mean, more money, more budget than you. Okay. Besides that, let's talk about recently. Also, there's been this discussion about personal branding, about how you can brand yourself online. Um, how does can SEO also play a part to help you improve your branding online?
That's for sure, right? Because um, if you are searchable and you are
Yeah.
searchable high for certain keywords of the services that you are provide, then people will know that people roughly associate that if you are able to rank high on Google means you are a business of credible, that
Okay.
your business is credible, your service that you provide is credible. So ranking high helps you with a couple of things, which is the visibility, you know, and then when the more visible you are, imagine
Okay.
people go to Google search, people see your business. People go to
Yeah.
YouTube search, people see your business. People go social media, they search, they also see your business. So it's already three touch points, right?
Yeah.
And we know that for branding and brand exposure, it takes about 3 to 5 touch points for people to remember you, right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
remember, it's also the customer buying journey, right? It's like
Yeah.
basically it's know, like, and trust. So when they know you, first they start, they don't know you, you see. They
Yes.
don't know you. Then after that, when they search for certain service, they realize that you pop up a lot. And you pop up
Okay.
a lot, they read your content, they like you. They like
Yeah.
you, then they trust you. They trust you, they buy, they repeat buy.
Correct.
They buy from you a couple of times. When they buy from you a couple of times, what they will do, they will tell your friend, "No, hey, this chicken rice is nice." You see. Hi, Rachel. Hi, nice to
Rachel.
see
Yeah.
you.
Hi. Hi, Rachel. Rachel is a mutual friend from my wife.
Hi,
Yeah.
nice to see you. We are talking about like how to make your business searchable online, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, she's one of the reasons why I started this stream. Yeah, because my wife does the chat with her, Facebook Live to her audience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
nice. That's nice, right? Yeah.
So,
Nice to see you.
okay, Eugene, maybe we can do a bit less technical. Maybe you can talk about yourself. What made you got into this business? I mean, what
Oh,
what what?
sure, sure.
How do you start? What made you do this? And then finally, I think there's a very technical question on the comment. I'll ask you that later after this.
Okay, sure. So for me, I studied I actually studied diploma in electrical, right? And one of my first job after NS is actually very IT driven, because I love websites all the while, right? I love websites all the while, and then I was doing my own website and stuff like that, more for the fun of it, right? And then after that, when I chance upon, I happen to uh be in the early days, I happened to be one of the founders of the internet marketing group in Singapore, and
Okay.
we used to organize talks. We used to get the likes of uh, Fabian Lim and a couple of speakers lah. So Fabian Lim was one of the very instrumental guys or pioneers in digital marketing. So I actually took his course, his 5 days SEO course, some years back. I think easily like 9 years back, and that is the foundation of the SEO that I've got. And basically, over the years I perfected my own way of SEO execution and stuff like that. And then I realized that here's the thing, right? I realized that I'm quite good at SEO, but then I'm looking at the market, right? like they are really not very not a lot of good teachers, with the exception of Fabian Lim, of course, because I learned from him, right? So the thing is that there are not many good teachers in the market, and there are people that are actually telling you very old ways of doing SEO, right? This we're talking about global stage, global stage, not only
Okay.
Singapore. So I thought that first I started my own YouTube channel, teaching digital marketing, teaching SEO and all that. I had my YouTube channel for about 2 years already. If you count to date, right? It's 2 years. And then I realized that that is not enough, because the reach is not enough. So I actually formulated a program, got it Skills Future approved, and then basically that's where we are, right?
Right.
And I think I think every business should know a couple of skill sets. Number one is how to set up your own website. Number two is how to basically, after you have set up the website, how to do SEO. And next, also, how do you do social media marketing? Here's the problem, right, Aaron? For
Yeah.
a company, right? Let's say you come in, right? You are the marketing manager, or you're the marketing director, and then you realize that all these years your company are operating without a website. So what's the first thing that you do? You will try to find a website company, and then
Yes.
you tell them what you want, how's your data, everything they configure.
Yeah.
And then you may or may not realize at that point that you need SEO. So it's just a purely web development things. That is one scenario. Second scenario is you do a web development, and then you ask them, do you do SEO? Chances are web developers don't do SEO, right?
Yes.
So they say, okay, here's the website I deliver for you. That's it. The website is a website that is not searchable. Here's the problem, right? In this day and age, clients still bitch about having a very nice website. And I really use the word bitch. Forgive me, right? But it's really, they are really bitching that they want a very nice website. And here's why I tell them, you want a website that is nice, that nobody visits, or you want a website that is professional, that people visit. The choice is yours, right? If you don't use SEO, similarly, right? So if you get this web developed, your website is developed, and then it ran for 2 years. Let's say, for example, let's say you don't even know that you need social media marketing. So you're doing very hard, and you find that the 2 years is very tough. Then somebody told you, hey, you need SEO. Then you go and search for a SEO company. You search for somebody that does social media, right? Social media.
Mm.
Uh, let's say this guy can do Facebook content and Facebook ads, and then you found that another guy can do, like Google ads. So you have three companies, right? One guy that does SEO, one guy that does Google ads, and another guy that does Facebook ads. So three companies. As a marketing manager, let's say as a marketing manager, you have to manage these three companies. And chances are most companies, their marketing manager are either entry level, fresh grad, or people with probably 1 to 4 years of working experience. So they do not have enough digital marketing knowledge.
Mhm.
And most of the time they will ask each companies to pitch what they want. So each company
Yes.
will pitch, SEO will tell you the SEO plan, the Google ads guy will tell you Google ads plan, and the social media will tell you social media plan. and all of them are running different tracks. And here's the problem, right? What you are able to achieve for your company is what we call the multi-channel marketing. And here's the problem. The SEO guy, let's talk about SEO, let's talk about search, right? So the SEO guy and the Google Ads guy might be buying different keywords, right? And here's the problem, right? Your approach is not coordinated,
Okay.
and everybody is running their own show, right? Here's the problem. A better approach is what we call the omni channel marketing approach. And that basically means, here's the campaign. I want to achieve this sales objective. I want to make sure that, okay, first, I run search ads, uh, to bring traffic, search ads, and I also work on SEO to bring traffic to my website. I also have a Facebook pixel in there so that when people visit my website, I can retarget them to Facebook ads, and so that they remember, because
Okay.
they search on Google, they attend, they saw this page, right? They remember. And best of all
Yeah.
is like, for example, this girl, she had to cut this dress, but then she was busy and all that. She had to go for dinner. She forgot to check out. So best of all, in this scenario, that you can email her, like 2 to 3 days. Oh, by the way, you have had to cut this dress. Maybe you are busy and all that. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Of course, having said that, right now the iOS 14 update is really affecting the effectiveness of this kind of uh, remarketing efforts, right? But it still doesn't mean that the remarketing cannot be done. It's just that it is less effective for iOS users at this point,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, as you read, technologies will improve. In fact, they are doing away with all this cookie method of tracking, so that that we are now looking at like server side tracking, where you will set everything in server side. It may come a day where you don't even need the Facebook pixel and stuff like that. So we are moving towards that, right? Rather
Yeah.
than browser, cookie tracking. Then nowadays, consumers are getting smart. I don't want to have all these cookies. They track me. My privacy is
Yes.
impacted. Data protection and all this thing has the call for data protection has became very strong over the years, right? Oh yeah, by the way, I am a very strong practitioner of PDPA also, right? Um, I used to consult the shopping malls on their personal data protection, and also we did their CRM system and customer loyalty program as well for them in a lot of the major malls in Singapore. Yeah,
Right. Okay. So let's go on to one very technical question.
sure.
It came out on the comment when I posted that I'm going to do this chat. This guy called No Nabi, he was asking for domain property. How do you disavow links?
Okay, domain property. Here's the thing, right? So uh we will come to the disavow portion later, but here's the thing. There's always a misconception that for a new website, I need to have as many links as possible, right? I need to have as many links as possible. So what is the thing? I'm not willing to pay. I go to fiverr.com, fiverr.com, and I saw this guy is able to promise me 300 to 500 links in 3 days. Wow, not bad, leh. In 3 days I get 300, 500 links, right? But here's the problem, right? With all these guys, is they use robotic software. And the problem with robotic software is Google can actually track a pattern to say that, oh, how come within 3 days you get like 300, 500 links? Then that is a red flag in Google first, right? First thing. Secondly, the problem is, you see, the thing is that if you don't outsource this so-called backlinking or getting external links to your website, if you don't outsource the process of getting external links to your website, you will not have a problem of having to disavow the link. We will come to disavow the link in a while, right? But here's what I say, right? So here's the problem, right? This guy is able to get you like 500 links in 3 days, right? And 500 links in 3 days, right? And if you really zoom down into the link profile, you will get a shock that some of the links could be pornographic websites. Some of the links could be, classified ads website. Here's the problem, right? Years ago, and we're talking about easily 6, 8 years ago, classified website link is still considered a ranking factor. Not anymore. So it's like forum comments and all these things, right? It's not anymore. Even blog comments is less uh, attributed for the weight of the backlink. There's a difference. Not all backlinks are made equal. There are some that Google will give a very high weightage, and chances are is if this link is from a person that is in your industry. For example, if it's a industrial news site that talks about, let's say for example you are in IT automation and all that, and there's this very major news that talks about automation, and they review your software or your hardware, right? That is a link with a very high weightage, right? And Google do that. So now coming back to this Fiverr guy can get like 500 links, and some links are like pornographic, some links are like classified and all that. So when we say disavow link is when we realize all these links is normally too late. The link is already there. So
Okay.
there is a process that Google gives you is called the disavow link tool, right? By Google. So you can just Google disavow link tool. You'll find it, right? So the disavow link tool basically uh is we as webmaster submit the link one by one to tell Google these are the links that are non-favorable, right? So if you have 100 or 1,000 links that are unfavorable, unfortunately, my friend, you need to submit them one by one.
Okay.
So, in order not to go through the pain of having to disavow the link, why not you don't do this practice in the first place? There are clients that come to me, hey, my website, I don't know what this guy do, this SEO and all that, it suddenly tank. So chances are they do all this kind of thing. So I tell them,
Okay.
okay, let's do a separate website, and we build the SEO of that separate website rather than trying to fix this website. Because if I am trying to fix your website, I'll probably charge you just like let's say $3,000 to $5,000 just to fix your website. But I fix your website, that means I'm undoing what people are doing. And then let's say for example, for the case of discussion, I charge you like $5,000. $5,000, I undo what the previous fella do, but your SEO still haven't improved. Then I will have to charge you another 5,000 or more to do
Mm.
your SEO. So rather than that, why don't you do a new website that probably I charge you 6,000 for the new website plus SEO?
Okay.
Example.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
it's way cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
most
hope
of
I answered the question.
okay. I'll share him later. So the best way to avoid having needing to disavow the links is try not to go to these freelancer sites. Although it sounds attractive, but to just get random links because you never know where the links come from. Actually, Noah actually came on Facebook. He said, "How are you doing?" Noah really
Yes, I
answered.
know.
Yeah, really answer the question. If you want actually for Eugene to answer, to go into more details, you can actually connect with him and ask him later. All right.
Or you can watch the
So
replay, right?
watch the replay of the video. Yeah, yeah, we record. It's actually recorded on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So again, Eugene, thank you for your time today for this morning. Um, those who are interested to find out more about Eugene, of course, you can Google Eugene SEO King. I already Googled practice. I think he practiced what he preaches. It's his first on Google. Yeah, so you can connect him through there or through Facebook, whatever. And you also can look forward to attending his course.
Also, if you are
Okay.
looking, also if you are looking to sign up for my Skills Future course, or you want to know what are the modules being covered, it's very simple. Just go to this website called skillsfutureseo.com.
Okay. Yes.
Skillsfutureseo.com. And then
Okay.
all the modules are there. Yeah.
Okay. Can sure. Go ahead and Google that. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again. Thank you for your time, Eugene. I appreciate for you spending this 30 minutes on with me.
Yeah,
Nice to meet
thanks
you
very
too.
much, Aaron. Yeah, really nice, nice
Okay.
to kind of meet you. And thanks for organizing this so that I can add value to your network
Uh,
as well.
okay. Thank you.
So, guys and girls, thank you for watching. Yeah,
Okay. See you. Bye bye.
see you. Cheers.